My apologies, family, for those of you coming back in. I honestly don't know why this keeps like happening, but ideally, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that moving forward, we're gonna be just more prepared. Um, because yeah, I don't like to waste your guys' time. I don't like to waste my time either. I feel like I wasted a bunch of my time. And I know you guys are for sure in the same boat of just time, right, being wasted. So my apologies for all the on and off, but obviously it's not my fault. I promise you. When I tell you it's not my fault, it's not my fault, right? This is really just out of my control with the Wi-Fi. But we're back, and hopefully we could get through the end of the hour, right? Ideally, I don't know why it keeps disconnecting, reconnecting. It was doing that last night, but it literally hasn't done that in like literally like 8 hours. So it's just interesting that as soon as I start streaming, right, it starts happening again. But if you guys just want to go ahead and drop a like for me, right, on the stream, I kind of updated the trades in the chats. I was just kind of going over Nas, how we're up, as well as Goldie, where it's up a little bit. It looks like the 15-minute push back down, right, to start. So 5-minute wise, it looks like we got a little bit of a break here. We could see potentially this fill, and then ideally continuation, kind of similar to what we were looking for over here, right? We were just looking for that fill and obviously that continuation higher. So for me, ideally, the way that gold kind of is filling right now, I think it looks clean if we can just continue this bullishness leading into the ending of this hourly candle. Like, I would want to see a bullish close. I would want to see us actually close up. The 30-minute, I would want to see obviously engulf, as well as the hourly. I would want to see close with just some bullish momentum for sure. The reason for that is because, like I said, overall, we're still in the area where, in my eyes, if we don't start to obviously go higher, then in my eyes, we will potentially just sell off. So that's why, ideally, if you're taking positions on gold longs, ideally you want to try and break even after we make just new higher highs. Like, for me, by the end of this hour, we should be able to break even relatively, in my opinion, because in my eyes, we shouldn't really come below like these wicks that we're creating right here, unless we're gonna go lower in my eyes. So the only way we'll kind of go low below that point is if we're gonna go lower in my eyes. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of just capital preservation, right? How to go about preserving capital in that sense, just because overall it keeps cutting out for you. Can you guys hear me okay on the stream right now? Drop a 1 if you guys can hear me okay. In the cut. Oh, Antoine's just not in. He's just in the chat. Okay, boom. Perfect. My apologies. I saw someone in the group chat say that I was cutting out, but I guess like they were referring to the actual stream. Okay, perfect. So in terms of that, like I said, Goldie, this is how we would want to see us react ideally. Drop a Goldie if you guys are in Goldilocks, right? I know a lot of you guys were scared to take Nas, and it's good that you guys didn't really chase, because like I said, it's one thing to get in a trade at optimal entry points, another to kind of get in late just because you want to get in. So in my eyes, it's very ideal to be able to position yourself in terms of this. Sorry about that, family. I just had to send the link out to somebody on my squad. But overall, right now, family, if you guys dropped a Goldie, right, ideally, beautiful reaction, right? We should see about a 20 pip reaction. Like I said, it's just been fairly clean. We've been slowly just filling everything. It hasn't been necessarily too crazy. Like I said, it's very simplistic if we just sit here and we wait for position. Um, Mad as fuck. I got in too early, then got scared and got out because I wasn't patient enough to wait for my entry. Now, 100%, I definitely got in a little bit early too with my first entries. Like my first entries, I think were in here. I had a tight stop. That's why I even got hit out. My bottom entries though, I shouldn't have definitely got. I shouldn't like. I don't even know why I had my stop. I had my stop loss like one of my stop loss was literally like 4 or 5 pips. So I was sitting there and I didn't realize. I thought it was just different numbers, so that was my own mental error. But in terms of gold right now, like 15-minute wise, 30-minute wise, looks clean, right? We got this wick down. Ideally, we should see this candle. Like I say, it should be a fairly bullish close. We don't really want to see bearishness in this candle towards the ending of the hour. Like I said, we're at the bottom of this structure. Overall, like I said, this is just something that is, like in my eyes, 15-minute wise, this is what I was waiting for, right? So this test off this black line ideally was that snipe entry. Like that's where 1931, right, or 1930 right on the dot, that's where you would have just been able to find the lowest risk, highest reward potential setup. And it just really comes down to being able to position yourself in a manner that is going to set you up for the optimal risk to reward when it comes down to obviously just getting these trades and getting these setups to go in the direction that you want. Because for the most part, like I say, a lot of people just kind of struggle because of position management. So it's not necessarily the entries. I say it's like we catch the entries, but it's like, you know, you're not managing the positions correctly. You're not taking profit when you're supposed to. You're maybe not breaking even when you're supposed to. So it doesn't really matter where you catch the entries. It's just going to be more about how you manage the position, just obviously moving forward, right? So Nas looks lovely. We're dropping. Ideally, like I said, overall, our higher time frame target, we want to see us break down and fill this. But our intraday target really has kind of gotten achieved. Like, to me, I think we're going to still push a little bit deeper into this. Because 30 to me kind of pushed all the way down. So I would expect, or I wouldn't expect, I would say, I would hope that Nas would be able to kind of do the same thing. But if not, you know, it really is what it is. You can't really force the market to do what it's not ready to do, right? But do you guys notice how, like, even with gold right now, like, do you guys see how, like, drop a 2 if you guys see what I'm talking about with gold, where it's like, because of how volatile of an area we're in, like, it's moving a lot, right? So even though this doesn't look like it's crazy, like, you really could have got stopped out for like 30 pips. Like, to me, 30 pips, that's a pretty big movement for such a small just physical move. Like, it didn't physically really go up or down too much, but it's like the fact that we're so volatile, the range is just creating that that perception that it's just like, whoop, it's crazy. But boom, this is exactly what we want. So gold, drop an XAU USD with a bag in the chat, right? If you guys are up a nice bag, right? If I were you guys, I would secure some partials, right? Quick little 50 pips. To me, I think we're probably gonna go to the moon with this one. Like I said, this is like overall a very high, like this is a high time frame setup. This isn't just us looking for that smaller time frame. This is real life. Okay, like, we think this is what's gonna happen, right? So in terms of this, like I said, I really, if I were you guys, I would look to potentially pay myself, right? I would look to ideally break even, potentially, right? Do whatever's clever. I personally broke even. I didn't break even actually on gold. I broke even on Nas, but I secured partials on gold, right? So to me, I definitely don't expect us to come back, right? to our entry. So if you entered at the bottom, you could break even. Like my entry's at 30 on the dot, right? So for me, I'm personally gonna break even. But if you got in maybe a little bit higher, then I would suggest potentially just cooling off for a little bit, right? You don't necessarily have to sit there and do the most. But NAS, like I said, I took some partials on NAS as well. I never paid myself on that, so might as well pay myself up 100 points. To me, I think NAS is going to continue to drop, so I'm holding a little bit. Gold, I partialed, but I didn't partial a lot, just because I already caught a decent amount on up and down. But I'm also looking at this as a higher time frame hold. So overall, because of what happened today, I'm personally like all of these highs to me. Like I'm just, yeah. Like 2001 just seems even more amazing right now. Like overall 2001, this is what I want to see get filled. If you guys have been on my calls for the last little bit, you guys know this is what really I've been talking about. Since we caught the bottom, right? Since we caught this accumulation, we caught this bottom, right? And I told you guys since last week Thursday, when we caught the bottom of this, that it was gonna come back to this point, and here we are a week later, right? Back at the same point, and it's just, you know, it's very beautiful to be able to see how we're able to just sit here and body price, right? It's just really something that, in my eyes, it's really just a blessing to be able to read the charts the way that we do and just be able to catch entries. Like, look at how fast we literally caught 60, 70, 80 pips. Like, it's like it's not that there's no one doing it, but it's like there's not a lot of people outside of our circle that are really doing it. Like, if you guys were in my team chat, you guys would really be sitting there looking at me like, how did you sit here and catch the, like, I really called out everything today. Like, I called out buys and shorts. Like, if you guys were on my team, I swear you guys would literally sit there and you guys would realize, like, sorry, my homie just called Rogers and he was letting me know that there's just a ghost traumatizing us right now with this Wi-Fi. To keep unplugging my Wi-Fi. That was the craziest shit though. Like, there's literally no one in the crib and then the Wi-Fi was unplugged. I was sitting there like, whoa. Nasty Nas. Like I said, I partialed on Nas because I wanted to see us come back up into this 30-minute candle. Which, if we can do that, potentially re-entry there, that would be amazing. If not, oh well. You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, we're not going to be missing out on too much. But at the same time, what I would definitely suggest for you guys is to just, like I said, pay yourself if you haven't already. And just really make sure that when it comes down to position management, like especially right now, you guys don't want to be really doing too much, right? It's like towards the ending of the day, to me, Nas is going to pop up. It looks like Nas is probably just going to fall over right off the 15-minute. I don't know how much higher we really pushed than this. But to me, it looks like we probably just wick into this. It looks like we have a little slight IPA up here, which is maybe kind of what we're looking to target. So maybe we fill this and then actually continue towards the downside. But overall, like I said, we should be in position from the top. So it's like I wouldn't really be chasing that. I would just be looking to potentially hold whatever else you guys have left, because like I said, it just, to me, would make sense to potentially see that play out. Gold, in my eyes, like I said, it shouldn't really come back. We should just really see this fill continue to run towards the upside. So it would just now be a matter of being patient. Like I said, this entry, literally, it shouldn't come back. This is one of those ones where it's like, it really is just going to continue to go higher if we are going to be right. So, yeah, in terms of that, family, I really think that when it comes down to today, I think we had an amazing day. Drop a $sign if you guys made some money, right? If you guys secured a little bit of a bag today. Did anybody make some money with me today? I hope you guys made some money with me. I hope you guys made some money with me. Drop some dollar signs, family. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Right. But what I could do right now is go over. I want to go over actually just the gold shorts, because this is something that we went on over on Sunday actually, right? So if you guys actually go to my YouTube channel and you go to the live, right, you could basically go to, you basically could go to Sunday overview, right? Right here, it's an hour and 13 minutes, and essentially I go over the whole short, right? I went over the short basically from the perspective what we were looking at was just from here. Like we watched it happen here. We initially wanted it to come a little bit higher, but then once it broke down, right, this is the fill that we are looking for on Monday, right? Notice how Tuesday, right after the holiday, we come back and we fill. So to me, it was just very, very clean price action when it comes down to everything as a whole. I don't really think that there's too much more that we could have done better when it came down to position management. Like I said, this was just from our entry area. We were playing this 15-minute insufficiency, right? I was really looking at this 15-minute, and then if we even break it down to the 5-minute, the 5-minute insufficiency is really what I was looking at. So notice how as soon as we come into this area, this point of interest, notice how we get this engulfing candle, right? And then what happens after we get this engulfing candle? We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive down candles that print bearish, right? Which is ideally what we look for in terms of just confirmation of the market, right? We look for that confirmation just to be able to identify, okay, like, is this really what we're going to be doing in terms of the market, right? Is this how we're going to be continuing lower, or are we actually going to flip, right? And are we going to just react towards the upside, right? So in terms of just the shorts, even with the target, right, the target was just very clean. We were being very, I would say, like, worst case scenario, like, we were given, like, literally, like, to me, I wanted it to come deeper into here, but I also have gotten used to the fact that gold will not always fill, it won't always fill you right away for what you want. So it's not to say that it's not going to fill you, but it's like you might think that it's going to fill you, and then it really doesn't fill you until afterwards, just because of what happened. So US 30 right now, in my eyes, looks like we're probably just going to target this IPA. We're going to fill that insufficiency on the 15. That's kind of how I played this entry right here. When I got that re-entry, was just playing that insufficiency. So we're coming and we're playing out of this area. So in my eyes, we probably see the indices just continue to break down lower. Nas, like I said, expect that push up to start this hourly. Notice how we're coming in, we're filling this insufficiency right here. So we could potentially see a reaction to the downside out of that insufficiency, out of that IPA area. But then we also could see a potential reversal, right? So it really just depends on what it is that we're going to be doing in terms of the market perspective, as well as gold even too, right? Gold could potentially reverse as well. I know on the 4-hour we broke below really all of the lows that we were playing. But in terms of this, I'm kind of looking at this as it could potentially be 4-hour accumulation, potentially, right? We could potentially, like, this could have really been that spring, right? That last push down, that final push down. So that's why for me, gold, I'm kind of being a little bit more patient. I'm okay with it kind of coming back and testing just because of the entry point too, right? We really caught a snipe entry in terms of Goldie, right? At least I know for me, I was able to get in literally down here. I actually got in lower. I got in about like 30. This is where my worst entry is, or my highest entry is about 1930.30. So, you know, definitely that's why you can't hesitate really when price comes to your areas, because it's like that hesitation is the difference between you having an entry potentially when it hits this line, because it hit my line 3 times, right? It hit it once here, twice, 3 times. By the third time I got in on my line, right? I got hit out twice beforehand though, so it's not to say that I didn't take a loss. I took a loss because my stop was just too tight, and obviously we came back. I had my stop. I figured that this was going to be the bottom, but once I got back in here, right, my stop was below that low, and then you can see we obviously have been filling just the way that we want, or we would want it, the market to fill, when it comes down to just continuing towards the upside. So like I said, indice wise, ideally I would expect to see us continue lower overall. What I would expect is just retracement to the upside right now. DXY looks like we came into this insufficiency like we were talking about in terms of the 30-minute, right? We came in really to this higher 30-minute IPA, which is beautiful, because I believe, yeah, we were really just looking at the hourly. So if DXY reverses out of here, which is what I'm anticipating, and we start to drop and DXY goes lower, what we're going to see is obviously that continuation for gold when it comes to that bullish movement. But if DXY just manages to just continue higher, which it very likely can, then we're more than likely just going to see gold break down. But as of right now, it looks like gold, even if we're going to break down, we're going to probably pop up and fill a little bit of insufficiency first. That's what it's looking like in terms of my eyes. But in terms of that, family, I hope that you guys were able to take some type of value away from today's stream. Like I said, overall, in terms of re-entry areas, truthfully, I like this for NAS. If we maybe come up here, hourly, I would definitely be willing to take this if we come a little bit higher. So we've kind of came into this insufficiency, but ideally, right, I would look some like this. I wouldn't look to have too crazy of a stop, but ideally, I would just look to take it easy. Like if you guys caught the shorts already, there's no need to kind of re-enter, right? If you got in from the top and you paid yourself, like, let's say half your position, you can let the rest of it ride. I know for me on NAS, just because I got in late, I partial most of my position. I have like literally less than 10% riding, just because I got in here. But I know on 30, oh man, I was sick on 30 because I closed most of my positions so early with the expectation we're going to kind of come back up and fill. But I realistically took 30 because of the same type of deal. The structure was a little bit cleaner, in my opinion, just in the sense of $15-minute, right? We break down below, create this lower low. Notice what we do. London session, we come, we test this previous lower high. We fail to break above. Then what do? Right? We break down, we start to create some liquidity, right? We create this little trend line. And then right at the beginning of 9:30, we spike up and then whoop, dump. Right? So it's just one of those things that when you have the right perspective and you just have the right trying to think of a word. When you just have the right bias, right? You're just gonna ideally see certain things that are just gonna give you that confirmation to be able to continue and hold those positions, obviously for longer. So when it comes down to just being able to really capitalize and take advantage off of everything that there is here, like I said, there's really a lot of opportunities. So in terms of that, family, I hope you guys took something away from today's stream. We're going to be back live tomorrow. Ideally, gold, my first take profit area, right? If you guys are looking for a take profit area, I would be really looking to potentially take profits at about 41, right? We got in about 30, yeah, so about 100 pips. But overall, where I'm looking to target, like I said, I want to see all these highs get taken. So for me, because I already paid myself and now I'm going break even, I'm not really going to be looking to pay myself until at least we take these highs. Okay. So for me, I would want to see that liquidity get taken from our entry area, give or take if you got in around that area. In terms of a risk to reward, oopsie daisies. Risk to reward wise to the high would be about a 1 to 14. So to me, risk to reward wise, it definitely does make sense to still take this position, just because of what we're looking for overall. 15-minute wise looks beautiful. And like I said, if you guys are in, just definitely tag me on Instagram if you guys post your entries. And I love and appreciate you guys. I'm grateful for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please drop a like, right? I see that there's 14 on you guys. Please let me see at least 14 likes on this stream. And make sure you guys send it to a friend and tell them to tell a friend to tell a friend to be on tomorrow. Because we're going to be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. family, live on YouTube. I love and appreciate you guys. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip. Bow.